Sunday, November the 19th, 2017, to you. Today Chile went to the polls. This general election was undoubtedly the most interesting electoral event since Chile returned to democracy in 1989, given the right to vote for expatriates, the gender quota law, and the new don't proportional system for Congress. What I could not foresee was that election would be interesting in its results too. Before getting into the electoral outcome, I want to remark two issues. First, turnout was too low, 46.6%. Secondly, in spite of the quota law which assigns 40% of congressional candidacies to women, female members of Congress will amount to only 21.6%. In short, the law failed. And now the results. Former President Mr. Sebastián Piñera achieved the first majority. He got 36.64% of the votes. Mr. Piñera will dispute the second round against Senator Mr. Alejandro Guillia, who obtained 22.70%. For her part, Mrs. Beatriz Sánchez, broad front leftist, got 20.27%. Far-right populist Mr. José Antonio Cast obtained 7.93%, and Christian Democrat Senator Mrs. Carolina Goich obtained a meager 5.88% of the votes. For his part, Mr. Marco Enriquez Ominami got 5.71%, and the remainder was shot by two minor candidates. First, there are two guilds which were the big losers: pollsters and pundits. The former made wrong predictions, suggesting even a victory for Mr. Piñera in the first round. As for the latter, they got too carried away by opinion polling and thus lost all critical mind in their analysis, suggesting even that the right wing would stay in power for long. Reality, however, proved that the right wing amounted only to 44.57% if we add Mr. Piñera's and Mr. Cast's shares of votes together. Not the result that Mr. Piñera expected, I'm afraid. Mr. Piñera consoled his supporters by saying that such results were quite similar to those obtained in 2009 when he got elected. However, the issue here is that it will be a momentous job for his campaign to convince new people, especially if Mr. Cast is aboard. Unlike 2009, this time Mr. Piñera will have to face a majoritarian share of voters who just do not like him. The first round was a de facto primary election to choose the non-Piñera candidate for the runoff, and the winner turned out to be Mr. Guillia. Unless a lot of voters decide to stay home, which is what many of Mr. Piñera's supporters are expecting and praying for, Mr. Alejandro Guillia has the best option to win the second round and to become the next president of Chile. One final comment. For those who do not know Chile, they should know that, politically speaking, that country has been stable, certain ever since democracy returned. Now Chile is entering into an unknown ground. That is fascinating for some, but scary for others. Personally, I do not believe in protected democracies, and any future political experience should teach Chileans lessons of courage and wisdom. Like the national anthem say, "Sweet homeland, receive the votes." The world is still on.